Hello, this is Mike Anderson again with Anderson's Pretty Water Farm. Today we're going to make a video on the pond. A couple of years ago, or several years ago, we had a pond leak on the pond, and we had so much water, and my brother and my neighbor, he was going to build a pond down below me, so I kind of held off until we got to the right time to do this pond. So I think we're here, and I think it's the right time. And we've also having trouble with the beaver. And I have a geothermal cooling and heating system that's a pond loop, and we're afraid that this beaver is going to gnaw into our plastic pipe that runs our water back and forth to our condenser unit. And so we need to get rid of the beaver. Well, with all the reeds and everything that's in the pond, it's a wonderful habitat for that beaver. So we're going to clean the pond out. We're going to work on that pond dam bank over there and try to get that all repaired and just kind of give the pond a good overhaul. It's about 22 years old for sure, maybe 23 or 4. So it's about 23 years old, and so it's time for a little facelift. So stay with me, and I'll show you what I'm doing right now. Okay, right now I've been mowing down all these reeds that we have, and you can see all the places that is brown is where reeds were. So I've got a lot more to do. I want to get all the reeds mowed down and everything before I get equipment in here to start digging all this out. There's a well, that green box. You can see all around the pond there that I got reeds over the majority of the bank. I got a few little blank spots that where we had a rock banks over there where it's not growing, but the majority of it is packed with reeds. You can see my brother's pond over there that he's making. And I'm already pouring water into it. Whoops. And this is what I call Anderson's Pretty Water Waterworks. And I've got a 2-inch black pipe. I've got a 2-inch white PVC pipe. I got 1.5 inches, 2 1-inch, and then that big one there is a 3-inch. So I got a lot of water going down out of there. And I found a bass down there that weighed about 2 pounds that went through that 3-inch line. I just got to open lines over here, and he went up that pipe, came out this other end. But that's the pond, and we need to get it down a foot or two to really be able to get in there and do some work. So I think it's dropping down about an inch a day, an inch every 24 hours with the current water that I got going out of there. So it's going to take me a few days to get this down. But in the meantime, I'm going to take my brush hog and I'm going to back down in here like I've been doing so far and try to knock out some more of them reeds, especially on that far side over there, because that's the side that he likes to stay at, and I think that's his little home over there. So we're going to try to do that, and I'll spend the day doing it. Once I get this pond all cleared off of reeds and everything, we get it down far enough, I'm going to bring my brother's bulldozer over here, and we're going to try to kick up some of this bank, and then if I need to rent me a track hoe or whatever, we'll do that. Just whatever. I got a skid loader that might help, and we'll do whatever we need to do to get it all cleaned up. So that's our project right now. Well, here we are back at Anderson Pretty Water Farm. We're working on the pond dam. We've been cleaning out reeds. First thing I did was we rented a big old track hoe. And we dug all the reeds out of the pond. I was back here on the back side of the pond. I just dug deep and got them all out and cleaned out what I could reach out to and clean it out. Now along the pond dam over there, what I did was I just scraped down maybe a foot and hoping to get all the reeds out, because I didn't want to make my dam any weaker than what it is. So I just scraped it off. I didn't dig down deep and get to the get below the roots like I did on the back side here where there was no dam side. And we did a pretty good job. I'm still going to have to go out there and with my hands and a shovel or something, the ones I couldn't quite reach, and take them out. But we've removed about probably 2/3 of the dirt, maybe 3/4, and we're hoping to finish it up tomorrow. The pond is looking pretty good. We got it down. We took it down about 4 feet just to get it to where I could get out there and get 98% of the reeds out there. And my younger brother, Gene, he really was receptive of all the water I gave him. So he was glad to get that in his new pond. So that made it better for him, due to he didn't have all that rain erosion and stuff. The pond just slowly went up, and it filled in all his holes, and which his holes are now probably 10 feet deep, but he's just now getting to where it's all going up to the same level. So and here he comes now. He's helping me with this, and he's getting a load of dirt. So this is quite a process. That bucket will hold about 6 cubic yards when it's plumb full. Now that's wet, heavy clay, so it is hard to get out of there, and it's heavy, very heavy. keep working at it, you get it. And, we're going to go for some more. That's a 926 cat. So it's really done a good job here, and we have moved a tremendous amount of dirt out to the back, and we're taking it back to the rear of the property. I've got a low spot back there, and we're filling it in, and that'll create me some more watershed also for my pond. All that, you can see it back there. I'll smooth it all down and everything, and it'll pack down a little bit, and then I'll have more of a watershed going to this pond. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. Over here you can see my little goose house down there in the corner. Now that was all full of reeds. That was real bad in them corners, like that corner and that corner over there, and then this corner here was bad too. You can see all them reeds in that pile that I put up there, and you can see the reeds that I still have out there, and I couldn't quite reach it with the bucket there. And then I was afraid to get too close to my wall, so I can get in my skid loader and with forks on, and I can point them down, and I think I can pick that out like that, and hopefully that'll work. If not, I'll have to come up with some other solution on getting the reeds out from this wall. But anyway, that's where we're at. You can see we're still draining it a little bit, not as much as we was. We cut off the 3-inch. We got 2 2s, 1.5 inch, and 2 1-inch lines draining still. And so when we get through this one pile here, well, the only way that we can get to the rest of this here is through there. So we're going to have to cut the lines. I told my brother that we're going to have to shut off the spigot, and so but he's grateful for the water he's got, and so everything is looking good. Hopefully we'll get the dirt removed out of here tomorrow, finish it up, and go from there. Well, here we are, week 3 of the pond clean out. We've the first week we used a track hoe digging all this out. The second week we did the front loader, removing all the dirt that we had dug out, and moved it to the back of the pasture. And now this week we're in the process, and during this time we've been continually draining the pond. We've drained about around 5 foot out of this pond so far, and so now what I'm doing is I've got it down low enough that I can get the skid loader down in here to clean out the residue reeds that the track hoe didn't get. And so I'm slowly working around this pond, just taking the top 6-8 inches of dirt out of here and rock, and but mostly I'm hoping to get most of the reeds out of here, and to make it to where it wouldn't be good for them to grow, and something that we can maintain. So that's where we are right now. It's been Mother Nature has been super for us. We haven't hardly had any rain at all. We've matter of fact, yesterday broke a record heat day. We had the highest ever was 99 or 98, and it was 99 yesterday. But today we got cloud coverage. I got a 10% chance of rain, but they're not expecting any large amount of rain, if any at all. And then for the next 7 or 8 days, we have just a clear window there, nothing but sunshine. So hopefully we'll be able to get the majority of this done, and we'll be grateful for that. So I'll kind of take you around and show you what all I'm doing here and on this, and hopefully when we get it all done, we'll have a nice beautiful pond with no reeds and no snaky habitat and beavers and stuff like that. It won't be a good place for them either. Let me show you what we're doing. This out here, as you can see, these little green things out here, like that right there, is a reed. And I'm not sure about those little green things out there, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not reeds too. So I will get out here. It kind of looks like they are. Yeah, I think that's a reed. So we will be cleaning all this out here. That's just good, all that soil and stuff, you know, that's just over 25 years. This pond's about 25 years old, so it's had a lot of time for all the dust in the air to settle down, and it's just put a good coating on the ground out here. So I'm going to clean all this up here, and right now we're working on the banks. You can see all this here on my wall up against the house here. We want to clean all this mess up, and a lot of dirt pile. A lot of dirt's going to be moved out of here, and there's some reeds still sticking up out of the ground there. And this is what I'm putting it in. Front loader's gone. We kept it for a week, as most we could afford, and so now we're down to a dump trailer and a tractor. That'll hold about 7 of those buckets right there, and without putting a strain on it. So that's what I do. I fill up 7 buckets, put it in the dump trailer, and haul it all the way to the back there and dump it out there. I've got quite a piles of dirt back there, but I got a good low spot back there that can use it, and then that in itself will be more watershed for this pond when I grade it down, which will be another job. Now this here was that's the green little building there is a whale house, and this is a water fountain here that I built many years ago. And so what I'll do here is this will supplement the water. So whenever it's a good well, it drops out about 14-15 gallons a minute, and I will supplement the pond whenever we get this all done, and it'll prevent it from going. It won't really help it go up much, but it'll keep it from the evaporation from going down. So we'll steadily, every time it rains, it'll slowly go up. So but this is all real dry, and look at the reeds out here. So we still got a lot of cleanup to do, and there's little root balls all out in here, and I got to clean all this mess up. That there was a pipe that I had going underneath the pond dam. I dug it out, and I used it to irrigate my gardens, but now I got that well, so I don't irrigate out of the pond anymore for my gardens. So, but anyway, all my water now is going over into my brother's pond, which he just finished. So we're not wasting all this water that's coming out of this pond. It's going down into his to fill his up, which works real well. And we're still draining water out. I got 2 2-inch lines now going into there, and it's draining it out, and slowly. But I'm thinking about an inch a day now, and there's a lot of geese over there on that far pond bank over there. They all hanging out. They're kind of getting ready for winter. Okay, I'm back again. This is about a week later, and I've come along. Now, a couple of years ago, we had a leak in our pond. I made a previous video about it and using sodium bentonite to clog up those leaks. It was just small leaks, but it was going on the back side, coming out on the back side, and we were concerned about it, and so I poured sodium bentonite. I bought about 300 pounds of it. I poured it where I thought the leaks were, and it clogged them up, and they stopped. And so then at that point I said then that when I ever redid the pond, that I was going to line that area and do a little better job of with that sodium bentonite, just as a precaution. And then I'm lining it with clay over the sodium bentonite. And so that's what I'm doing today and yesterday, and probably tomorrow. We'll be working on this dam side of the pond, getting it prepped up, and hopefully I'll stop all the leaks and make it a little stronger dam than what it was. And so I wanted to show you, I've realized something on these reeds that I guess over the thousands and maybe millions of years that they've been evolving, that when I go to dig these reeds out, when we were using a track hoe, or when I'm using my little bucket and stuff, they're like little basketballs or soccer balls, round, and what they do is they just roll around. I mean, if anything comes out of my bucket, I know it's going to be one of these reeds that's just, it comes out, and you know, if it has an opportunity to fall out of that bucket, it's going to, and it just rolls away. And I realized that they evolved that way, so whenever they had ground upheaval, that gave them the best opportunity for survival. And they are a real pain to remove. They just work real hard to evade you. And so I just wanted to show you an example of a root ball of a reed right here, and it's all dried out and everything, but I'll guarantee you, if you put this thing in water, they'll sprout out little reeds in a week or so. And I've got some that was around some moisture, and man, that's exactly what they've done. They've started shooting back out. So it's very difficult to get all these reeds out of this pond. Fortunately, I've had a perfect weather for doing this, and the next 7 to 10 days there's no rain in sight. So I'm going to just keep going around this pond, and as I've quit draining the pond, I'm leaving waters here, but the evaporation, it'll probably go down another 2 or 3 inches just over the next 10 days or so, just from evaporation. And since it's so dry and droughty around here, and as it does, I'm working further into the you know, the ground there where the pond was, and so it's quite a challenge to get these little rascals. And then if they seed in the dirt that's up around the pond, you'll see little green sprouts of these reeds coming up. So I have no idea what it's going to be like next spring when it, you know, things, moisture and everything, and rains in them, and they really start flourishing again. It'll be, I'll be curious to see what kind of hold they tried to get, you know, and I know me and the wife will be out there plucking these little things up out of the ground if we see them come up, but I don't know if it's going to be you know, hundreds or thousands of these things coming up all over. So it'll be, I may have the whole family out here plucking reeds before next spring when they start coming out in numbers. So, but anyway, I just wanted to let you know about this. Now, this sodium bentonite, I got this stuff for, I bought 2,500 pounds, which is 1.25 tons, and I think a pallet of it had like 56 bags or something like that. But I bought 50 bags because they only had one pallet, and it had been busted open and there was a couple missing. So I just said, well, just give me 50 and that'll leave you some in case somebody else needs some right away. But I bought 50 bags, 2,500 pounds, and I've sodium bentonite, and it sure worked good plugging up the small leaks about 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember exactly when I made that video, but it was 2 or 3 years ago. Might have even been before COVID, 3 or 4 years ago. But anyway, this is what it looks like. And yesterday evening, just by myself, I probably laid, let's see how many here, 1, 2, 3, that's 18. So I only have about 18 bags left. So, and I had 50, so I've already put out the majority of it. I just did that yesterday evening. And what I do is I take one of these bags and open it up and just manually spread it out there. And I've found that for about a 1-inch layer, I can do about a 5 by 5, somewhere in that area. I just spread it out and slowly work it out of that bag, and I get about a 5 by 5 area with one of these bags, more or less 5 by 4. And and the leak that we're working on, it seemed like it got worse when the pond was full, and it didn't really leak when it was low. So I'm thinking that the leak was somewhere between 3 feet from the top of the dam down to somewhere 6 feet or 7 feet from the top of the dam. So I'm doing about a 10 to 15 foot swath from the top down, and then I'm doing about 100 to 125 feet area of the dam lengthwise here to make sure that I find that leak and cover it. So you know, I just really don't know where it's at exactly, so I'm just spreading a good swath there to make sure I get that leak, and hopefully we'll fix it up and we won't have more leaks. But what another good thing, you know, cleaning this pond out is I have increased the size of it, and I have when this pond was built, it was a long process, 4 or 5 months, and they worked real hard, but then Mother Nature came in and kind of shut them down, so they just buttoned it up, and so there was places that could stand for improvement, some shallow areas that we could deepen a little bit, and so this has given that an opportunity for us to do that. So with the track hoe, we deepened it considerably along that I could reach to, and now since the pond's gone down so much and we've had all this wonderful dry weather, I've been able to get my little skid loader, this little bobcat back here, and I've got a tractor with a 7-ton dump bed, And so we load it with about 5 tons of dirt at each haul. And I've probably hauled out already 125 loads of dirt just with that dump trailer. And we probably hauled out 400 tons with the track hoe and the front end loader. So we have removed a lot of material out of this pond. And so and I see a lot of areas that I can still work on and make it a little deeper. And then I'm going to work on this dam here and beef it up a little bit to where it'll be a little stronger. And so basically a lot of it is I'm going to be removing the dirt from one side of the pond and putting it on the other, but I'm going to be removing it from a lower point and putting it up on a higher point. And then I've also got areas in the back pasture that has low spots that needed to be filled, so I'm doing that as well. So I'm leveling out my pasture. I'm making more watershed for this pond, and so I've got a lot of things going on to improve this property. And so I'll guide you around right now and show you what we've done. And you know, hopefully if you're in mind of doing a project like this on your pond, that maybe this will give you a little insight on preparation and getting what you need to get your job done. First we got you can see the dark ground out here. That is that's where I have poured my bentonite and covered it with a layer of clay. And it starts right here at this pallet. I use this pallet as a marker to know from where I think the leak is. I think the leak is just about where that forklift is, or the bobcat, I'm sorry. And I went all the way around and I spreaded that stuff evenly on the ground, and I went all the way around past this pallet over here. I got this pallet here, and and I've taken it up to this point over here. So I think I've gotten the area of the leak. I think the leak is somewhere around over there where that white pipe is over there. That's where we noticed the leak at, just on the other side of that white pipe. So I'm thinking that it's somewhere between the little bobcat and me here. So I think that's the most obvious location of the leak. And you can see my tractor and dump bed trailer over there, and right now I'm working on that little point right there, cleaning it up and getting some of them reed root balls out of there. And then over here, so I'm gonna finish this. I think I'll do this powder stuff this afternoon, because after I get through with that powder, I want to go shower and clean up, because I know it's can't be healthy for you. So, and it just it's like a real fine powder, and it just gets all over you. So I'm going to try to do that this evening. I'm going to work on my cleanup around the points that I need to work on, moving dirt and stuff. And over here, and here's an obvious root ball. Here, this is a fine example. Just laying out here. It's rolled off the trailer, popped off the trailer, got up here, now it's trying to get back down to the water. Today is October 19th, 2022, and we are just about done with this pond operation project, and I wanted to make this last film here just to finish up this little instruction that we've made here on Anderson's Pretty Water Farm. And I'll take you around and show you all the things that we're doing, and I still have a few things left to do, but I'm not sure when I'm going to get to it, and we probably need to finish this film. So I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to tour you around and show you everything we've done. So here we go. So first off, we got our steps. I was able to, the pond's down low enough, I was able to get in front here and clean out in front of these steps. I wasn't able to get in here, so I'll get a backhoe to come in and dig this out a little bit here. And we've really reduced the amount, we've really lowered the pond here and cleaned it all out real good. And I packed clay and stuff in here to support this wall and the bank. And we dug that down probably 3 or 4 feet all out in there. So this pond had a lot of shallow areas in it, and so we done away with a bunch of those, so that way the reeds will not be so quickly to return. And I don't know how it's going to work, because just like this right here, here's a reed root on the ground here, and then several of those, like there's a root right there, and there's a whole slew of them all around this pond, I'm sure. So we're going to have to get out here and clean all these up, and hopefully they won't re-root and grow next year. And so here I left this here because this is where my geothermal heating and cooling system goes out to the pond, goes out there to my coils. So I didn't want to mess with that. And cleaned out around here. I haven't messed with my little rock bank over here. I think Sharon and I will just get out there and kind of dig out I dug it all up with the track hoe, but I see some reeds out there right now. I had trouble. I got in there and I had to hit a soft spot down there, so I sure didn't, I just gave up. And so hopefully we can just come out here with my hand and dig up the reeds that I have. But pond, it's still going down. So who knows how much we'll get done, but I think next week we're supposed to get a 3-inch rain or so. So that's why I wanted to do this, to show what this pond looks like right now. We've been in extreme drought, and it's been an ideal time to do this project. And you can see how I put the stuff, clay along these banks here. I found that clay right down there. There was just a 6 or 8 inch vein of that clay, that gray clay. So I just dug it up and stuck it up along the banks over here and on the far bank over there. So, and I might try pulling some of that stuff out over there. It just looks, I got some big rocks over here I might put in its place. So, just a bunch of old dead wood now. Been in there 25 years. Fish like it, I'm sure, but everything will, I will work on it more throughout the winter, and hopefully spring will be a wet spring, and it'll just put a lot of water in this pond. And I've got a tremendous amount of dirt. I have that 7-ton dump trailer, and I probably got 100 loads over there, maybe 150 loads over there, not to mention all the dirt we put in there with that front end loader. So just a tremendous amount of dirt cleaning this thing out of here. But we've been working on it, and I'm really anxious to see how well it does next year. And we got a bunch of that grassy moss down there that the waterfowl, they love it. If you'll notice, they keep their head down eating that stuff, but it's really choking that pond, so it's just taking over. So we'll figure out this winter what we want to do with it. I kind of like the waterfowl, so, and in the winter time we'll have like 150, 200, 300 ducks on this pond, and I enjoy watching them. So we may leave it on there for the winter and then hit it hard in the spring with whatever. That'll give me time to catch a bunch of fish and fill up the freezer and all that with fish, and in case we need to drain it or whatever we need to do to get that moss out of there. I don't know. And then we cleaned all this up. I dropped it down a couple of feet out there just to get the water level a little deeper. And then over here I really cut it down, and in doing so I dug up a whole bunch of big rocks. So I piled some of the bigger ones over here, and I might take them around and do something with them. I don't know. I might make little shelters and stuff for the fish or something. And I'm going to clean out that mess over there. It's got some cable in it, just a bunch of stuff in it. So I'm going to clean that mess out. But everything is looking good. I made this a lot deeper, and I think I'll put some rock down in there and make a little something pretty here in this corner. I ain't through at this corner. I might even make it. We're on a rock ledge right there. I think it's about 6 or 8 inches thick, maybe 12 or so. But I might dig that out to the height of that water down there, about water's edge there, which will take it down another foot or so, and that'll really make a substantial little pool there. So might that's if I got time, old time. And you can see this is a pretty good sized pond. And I've repacked the banks. I put a bunch of sodium bentonite on it, and hopefully I'll stop the leaks. I took a whole bunch of that gray clay over there that we got, and I put it in this bank, probably 40 loads or so. And so I really packed this bank with that clay, not to mention the sodium bentonite. So, and I still got to come in here and grade this down and clean it all up. We're just going to have this rain, and I wanted to get in here and take this movie before we got the rain to show you this, because after that it'll look probably totally different if we do get a big 4-inch rain or so. And but you can see that's a long ways over there, and I'm thinking this is about a 4-acre pond or so when it's all said and done. So I used to think it was a 2 or 3, but I'm thinking it's bigger. So whenever it fills up, I'll get on Google, and I did that once and it showed I just vaguely did it, and it was 4 something. So I was surprised at that. I thought it was 2 or 3 acres. And we increased the size of it just with all this clean out, especially along that back wall there and that north wall. I really I kicked it back another 4 or 5 feet probably. But and then here's our little waterfall, and I've added some more rock to it and cleaned it all out. And I still got to I'll get me some concrete and some color, brown color, and give that concrete, instead of a gray look, give it a brown look. And I'll fix all that up real nice to where it'll take the water and take it where I want to down them rocks. So, and get that all fixed up and rearrange all my rocks and everything, and get the waterfall flowing so we can supplement this pond with it, and at least get some kind of water going in there. But I want to get it all done before I start putting water in there, so we'll see what happens. But it's been quite a project. We've been at it now for, oh gosh, a couple of months, and it seems like at least a month and a half. And it's been daylight to dark, and I'm just glad to see it near end. I've got other projects that I've put off and stuff here on the farm, and we need to get on them now. But we made it back to the dock, and that's everything we've done. And we had a tremendous amount of reeds out here. They were just choking this pond out, and I am so glad to see them all gone. And so it's been a real fun project. Twice I drove the little bobcat into the water, and me and the bobcat almost went both times we had to have the backhoe come out and get us out of there. But fortunately the bobcat's fine, and I'm fine, and you know, it's all just an adventure. So, but anyway, I appreciate you're watching the video, and stay tuned for more videos, and we'll let you go, and hope this will if you have a pond and you're thinking about cleaning it out, I hope you've seen things on this video that'll help you out. Talk to you later. Bye.